Hi everyone, my name is David White and I'm the Content Marketing Director at connective3. Today I wanted to do a quick vlog on link building to useful tools. Just before I get into it though, I just want to say I hope that everyone is safe and well. I know we're back in lockdown, or we certainly are in the UK, but I hope everyone's keeping themselves safe and looking after themselves. Now, I've been thinking a lot recently about the style of digital PR campaigns that myself and my team produce, and I've also been obsessively analysing how different people across the industry do digital PR, how different companies implement digital PR strategies. And I see a lot of people running sensational PR campaigns and trends such as PR indexes, PR surveys, and they're obviously doing that for link building purposes, which is absolutely fine. It works. Let's be honest, it works, and it gives you the outcome that you're after. But one thing I've been thinking hard about is useful tools. Imagine if you could create a tool that is actually useful, something that people would actually like to click on and play, or would benefit their life in some way. And build links at the same time. And it took me back to a tool called the AA Route Finder. So way before kind of sat navs in cars were a thing, AA Route Finder was a tool where you had to go online, input where you lived and input the destination you wanted to go to, and then you would print off the directions, and then obviously the passenger would sit there with the directions in their hand telling the driver where to go. Now obviously the AA Route Finder was a super useful tool. So I decided to check out the backlink profile of that page. And it's got over 5,000 backlinks. And then backlinks are still coming in to this day. And that started to get me thinking, that is probably one of the greatest link building campaigns I've ever seen. And it was done by a tool that was super useful. Like, it wasn't really done for PR purposes. Somebody created that tool to benefit their customers and managed to get the backlink sort of activity around it at the same time. Then I started to look a bit closer to now, really, to the present day, and looking at coronavirus maps. So obviously people, the government, or the UK government, has created a coronavirus map. There's people at the New York Times who created coronavirus maps, so people can obviously click into it and see how the rate of infection is changing in their area or different areas around the world. And again, super useful tool. It's actually giving the user the information that they want. And these tools are building tons of links. Then I checked out a website called the Salary Calculator. Now the Salary Calculator does exactly what it says. You know, you can input your salary, and then you can input anything around pensions or student loans or whatever outgoings you have, and it will break down either monthly, yearly, or whatever. What your take-home pay will be after tax. And I've used this calculator many times kind of over the years as I've worked in the industry, when I've been doing sort of budgeting for bills and things like that. So I decided to check out their link profile, and again, super relevant, super powerful link profile. So it made me think. You know, we run campaigns continuously to catch the attention of the media. We create sensational stats. We do outlandish things to gain links and to try and go viral. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I've recently done a campaign that went viral with a sensational with a sensational headline. Only a few weeks ago, I gained 500 links. We proved that dogs love humans for a holiday cottage company that specialises in people taking dogs with them. So obviously I was still going to use that activity, I'm still going to do that, but as an industry, should we be thinking more about content marketing? Should we be thinking more about digital PR rather than link building? Think about it. If you could get that recipe right, that idea of creating some content that is actually going to answer your customer's query, it's actually going to give them something useful that they can go away and use in whatever way. That kind of content seems to be building, if done correctly, it seems to be building a lot more links, a lot more relevant links, and it seems to be building links for a lot longer. And it will probably also tie into search traffic and things like that, and long-tail keywords. So I wanted to start thinking about using useful tools. Sorry about that was my Teams. The joys of working from home. Useful tools as a link building tactic. Should we be challenging ourselves more? I think we should. I think the future of digital PR relies on a couple of key points. The first one is relevancy. being relevant. Everyone adopts a digital PR approach now. When I started in 2012, everybody was paying for links, everyone was spamming the web, everyone was going crazy. Now, thankfully, we adopt a digital PR approach where we get links from editorial manners. The challenge we face now is if Google is going to change the link ranking factor in any way, shape or form, it's probably going to look at relevance. Why should a loan company be talking about cutting fruit? And I use that as a weird example, but that's actually something that I've seen in the past few weeks. Mental, absolutely no relevance to the business at all. So I think the future of digital PR is relevancy, and I think the future, if you really want to get a winning formula, it's doing something that's actually going to benefit your readers. Now, I'm not saying that we need to stop everything that we're doing now and suddenly change tactics, but as an industry, we need to be saying, how can we be relevant, and how can what we produce actually benefit our readers and our users? I'll give you a key example of how I trialed this the other week. So it was for a web hosting company who work with a lot of small businesses and big businesses to do everything from web hosting, email hosting, etc. And we did a piece on the traffic different websites and different sectors saw over the coronavirus period. So obviously you saw kind of huge declines in travel and things like that, and then huge uplifts in home furnishings and home improvements. And we created this report and pushed it out there. And that was super, super useful for their customers because they could take that and learn from it. These are business owners who are wanting to better their business in quite a challenging climate. And this was data that allowed them to see who was winning and who was losing in each. And that again, just over 60 links. And that's a decent link number for that piece of campaign, so it was quite reactive. But then, will I revisit that? Will I be pushing that out biannually, even outside of coronavirus? Can I turn that into a useful report that becomes sort of the industry benchmark in a few years' time? That's what a digital PR should be thinking like. That is for me the future of digital PR. Useful tools, relevancy, and doing something that actually benefits your customers rather than just doing it for the sake of links. It's just something to think about. I just wanted to share my thoughts. Like I say, I hope everyone is safe and well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this kind of topic. If digital PR if it is digital PR, or is it just link building at the moment? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this on Twitter, on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever. So please reach out. But for me, I think it's time to start being a bit more mature as an industry and actually doing stuff that people will remember you for, that people will actually like you for and return to you for, at the same time as building links. Link building has never been easy. It's about to get a lot harder because this is the route we're going to have to take. But ultimately, that's our jobs to work out. Thank you for listening. Cheers.